We're here with Tom Burnham, head coach at American Magic. Some decent breeze and flatter sea state today. Can you run us through what you were focusing on before you started on the race course?
Yeah, today was perfect day here in Barcelona. It was amazing, super local sea breeze, so the water was perfectly flat and nice 14 knots of breeze or something. And so yeah, we were out working on some sail trim and just some targets, settings, and trying a few different things here and there with sails and foils and all that, and just practicing maneuvers as well. Just working on maneuver consistency is a big part of getting used to the new boat. So it's a big day there for that.
So staying on the maneuvers, you've done over 400 maneuvers so far on Patriot the last month. If you're being critical, where's the improvement to be made?
There's tons of improvement to be made. We're still just scratching the surface with the consistency and working on all the different settings. And you know, as you're working through different wind ranges on all the little bits and pieces that go to make a nice maneuver, with how you trim the sails out of the maneuver and entering and exiting and heel and cant and trim, and so many variables in these boats. And so there's still a lot of work to do and a lot of consistency to gain.
You had an issue that put sailing on pause for 2 hours. Can you tell us what the issue was?
Yeah, we just had a little bit of an issue downstairs with some hydraulic stuff, but the hydro team did a great job and got us all back up and running to go sailing again for another hour at the end of the day, which was really excellent. So it's nice.
So there's been lots of crisscrossing action over the last days. How important has this been to the training program?
It's good. It's nice to be out on the water with all the other teams and to be able to crisscross with them every once in a while. And so it just kind of heightens everybody's awareness and gets everybody excited. And it also gives the opportunity for the guys on board to be communicating about what's happening around the boat, which is, I'm not going to say it's race simulation, but just talking about avoiding chase boats and looking out for windsurfers and watching for the jet skis sort of keeps you a bit more focused on things outside of the boat than sailing around by ourselves. So it's nice to have all the action out there in the water.
And what have you learned so far from sailing, quote unquote, in the vicinity of the other teams?
We've learned that, I think that a lot of the things that we've all thought were going to be the case, that it's going to be a really good boat race on our hands in the fall, that all the boats I imagine they're going to be pretty close, and it's going to come down to executing really well. So we're just working towards that.
Do you think the Kiwis lost out on the golden opportunity to be here in the mix?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, they have their plan and they're sticking to it, and they were able to launch their boat in their home base and where they built the boat, and get it in the water and go sailing and test it before putting it on a ship, and that's a pretty important thing to do as well. So, they have their procedure, we had ours, and we've enjoyed being here in Barcelona full time for the last year, so it's been great for us here.
Tom, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks guys.
We're here with Hamish Wilcox, sailing coach here at Rossa Pirelli. Hamish, you spent several hours on the water today. What were the objectives?
Yeah, well, we're really happy with the way things are going. We had 2 days of really good breeze, and we're just building on yesterday. Yesterday was obviously, for us anyway, a big improvement on the day before, so every day is getting better, and today was just refining a little bit what we learned yesterday.
Can you talk us through the conditions today, on a day like today? On a match race, would you take the right or the left side?
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty obvious that the right's pretty powerful here in Barcelona. I remember it well from the 1992 Olympics, actually. It's renowned for having more pressure on that side, and it's very favoured. So, do you pay 2 tax to keep that side? And I think you would if you're match racing.
Lots of straight lining as well, like the days before. What are you looking at those runs?
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on, with figuring out stuff at the moment. We've got the boat in the water for 2 weeks or less, and I've been here for 4 or 5 days, so yeah, I'm catching up. But there's lots of things to verify that we need to verify, and then we also want to develop. So it's kind of a combination of both.
Hamish, you sometimes race with the chase boat engaging. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, well, it's always interesting for comms and things to have the other boat there. That you could set up situations and scenarios that you'll see. So it's really helpful just to bring that along. I think it's step by step, so we don't want to get too complicated at the moment. But yeah, it was nice just to see the thing, and have to do some of the classic moves you make on the course.
from your role, what are you looking at the most on the recon side on the other teams?
Well, everything, you know, that it's a fantastic opportunity when you're sitting there racing. Everybody's racing individually, but they're all racing in the same part of the water. So it's awesome to be able to, you know, make those observations and sort of just get a feeling for where we are and where they are, and you can sort of think where they've come from and where they're heading to, with what they're doing, and I guess that's what they're doing with us.
We are here with Arthur Sevet, 2022 GC32 Racing Tour winner on Cyclor on Alinghi Red Bull Racing Challenger for the 37th America's Cup. Arthur, could you please walk us through the day?
Listen, it was a great day. We had a nice breeze outside, not too much wave, so it was really nice to be able to train for solid hours and have a bit of testing, so really enjoyed it. Solid day for us.
A little bit of everything today on the water, many straight lines, many tucks and jives, and then at the end of the day, some pre-starts. Was that the main goal for the day?
Yeah, I think, you know, on the Cup you never have to lose the main objective, which is at the end racing, and you still have to develop the best boat as possible, so we try to get a little bit of every day to improve the boat, understand how to ride it 100%. And we still need to improve our racing skills and maneuver, so it's a good way to spend the day.
Today you came on board on the second shift, sitting on the starboard side. Do you usually get on the same pit?
No, not all the time. Depends a bit the view I want to have, and I deal with it. But that's a little bit turnover that we do so far.
Then when talking about the gears, is there someone controlling the gears for the entire cycling team?
You know that there is tons of gears that could apply at different moments or not, so it's so complicated that we prefer to keep the system for us so far.
Then on the other hand, does any of the cyclers have any sailing role?
I tried to be a helmsman and cycler, but it turns out that was quite hard. So far, not as I know.
But going to more basic complementary roles, such as, for example, I don't know, maybe calling the time for the start or any other minor activity. Is there any complementary activities coming from cyclers?
No, for sure we have people coming from rowing, cyclists and sailors on board. For sure, it would be great if they can help and give an input, but we haven't discussed so far how we're going to arrange that during race time or whatever.
In terms of communications, do you have an open channel with the other cyclers?
Yeah, we discuss between us to know how hard it is and to see how hard I'm pushing your friends. But except of that, it's try to improve the system. It's part of the things going on those kind of boats, so it's great if we can speak a bit together.
And you have communication with the 4 front sailors?
Yeah, we can discuss together.
Perfect. Then yesterday it was the first experience sailing close to another team, to be able to feel what a racing format can be like. Does it get more intense from the cycler's perspective?
I would say it's going to be more intense and interesting as we move forward to the D-Day, because there is more and more boat coming on the water. It makes doing lots of maneuver to avoid each other, to try to respect the rules, to not line up and everything. So yeah, it gives a bit of freedom, and I think it's quite great.
Okay, thank you very much.
With pleasure.
We're here in Barcelona with Will Bakewell, Head of Testing Performance Team for INEOS Britannia. Will, beautiful day today in Barcelona with medium south to southwest winds and flood water. What was your focus on?
Well, I guess we split the day up a bit. The first half of the day we're doing the sort of slightly more technical tests. Just a couple of things that we wanted to narrow in on. And then getting the boat on the racecourse and allowing the sailors to let rip there. So.
Then you installed back the legacy rudder. What was the purpose?
Sorry, I missed that.
You installed back the legacy rudder.
Oh yes.
What
yeah.
was the purpose?
It's just to cycle through the components, give the other components time in the shed. You know, nothing particularly.
And then about the testing that you said you made in the beginning, this test was done in upwind, mainly sailing at different speeds while playing with the different heaves. Were you studying ventilation maybe, or what was going on there?
No, we were just doing some tests to slow down the boat and see how it responds in those modes. So focusing in on our forward performance.
Then, how important the days with east conditions have been to perform the stability flight controls from the Britannia?
I mean, it's a lot easier in the sea state that we were in today. You know, you can really see that change in stability. So yeah, it's useful to have these flat days, push the performance a bit.
Are there any particular wind and wave conditions you're looking forward to have and have had not yet to test the Britannia?
I mean, this was really good because it was much more comfortable in the chase boat. But yeah, I think it's good to explore all the conditions we're going to get in sort of August, September, October, and just make sure that we're performing as expected in those.
Now sailing back with the southwest winds and flat waters, that was wonderful. We think your average heave is slightly higher and your pitch angle more stable. Are we right?
I'm not sure about the heave. I guess the flat water allows it. You know, when you've got a sea state, it sort of dictates to you what your boat attitude needs to be. But in the flat water, we have the room to experiment. So, yeah, I guess a bit more variable.
What are your biggest challenge in terms of control systems from here to the start of the first race? And are there linking systems included in this challenge?
Yeah, I think the idea that, you know, the rules permit you to know more about the control system that you did last time, and you try and make the most of that you can.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Will.
No worries.